You requested it, so here it is. This is the Durant build. Now this one, you're definitely going to want to go to these play types over here in the vitals and change it to play initiator, yes, mid-range, handoff, guard post-up, and pick and roll ball handler. Now, Durant was actually a lot of fun to make. Durant is a very interesting player. He doesn't exactly take good shots, but he's super tall, he's super long. If he gets to one of his spots, he's just going to pull up, and he knows you can't block him, so he's not really affected by your contest too much. So he was actually pretty interesting to make, just because you want him to take somewhat bad shots, but not to the point where, you know, it's a video game in the end. So a video game isn't going to want you to make bad shots. So it was a fun little challenge to get through, but I honestly think this one's perfect. I don't think you're going to find any flaw in this. Ran some test games, as always. Just shot from the same spots he shoots from, makes the same decisions. Looked patient, looked dominant. Now, with everything that I put out for this tendency build type of video, I highly recommend you guys use my sliders. I have a video on that. And I also go through why I have them set to what I have them set to. Also, as always, if you're going through these tendencies, you don't understand exactly what they mean, or you want to just learn more, I have a video on my channel going through all the tendencies. Basically any 2K that's had tendencies, which is, I think it goes back to like the old 2Ks, I believe they always had tendencies you could edit. They've always been kind of the same. I haven't really noticed any changes. So I imagine for even next gen that my tutorials will be still relevant. If they're not, I'll just remake them. It's fine. It would be awesome if we get more tendencies. There's definitely certain things that I wish we had. Now, 2K did some of these pretty okay, and 2K did some of them pretty badly. Some of his tendencies were just completely off. They had him more of a slasher with regular 2K tendencies than they did actually a shooter, which is what he is. I'll go into some of the badges after this, just to re-clarify why I have stuff the way I have them. Sorry, my phone's blowing up. And there's it for the tendencies. So I'll go through the badges real quick and just explain why, what's really important here for the badges. Really the only thing you really need is difficult shots, Deadeye, and Hot Zone Hunter. This is because Kevin Durant is, like I said earlier, a very tall, long player. He understands if he just gets to like the left elbow, he's just going to shoot in your face. There's really nothing you can do about it. You shouldn't have let him get to that spot. That's just how he is. So Deadeye is going to be able to shoot in your face. Hot Zone Hunter, he's good from the zones that he's hot, which I'll go through his hot zones now. By the way, he already had these badges on him. Like I said, 2K did some things well, they did some things not so much well. They did that correctly. Now for the hot zones, they had a bunch of hot zones, and then they had a cold spot in the left corner, which he's hit game winners from there. He's hit very clutch shots from the left corner. So I can't really say that he's cold from there. I feel like that's a little ridiculous. 2K, for the most part, doesn't really understand hot zones, or they don't really understand specific spots where players like to shoot. So like LeBron's little look at his hand, step back from the left wing. they didn't actually have him shoot from the left wing at all. They had it like 13 out of 100 that he would do that, and just didn't have his step back tendency very high either. So this is just what I have it set to. I shouldn't really have to scroll down, but for the people that are new to hot zones, there you go. So now we'll go into the signature. I changed a few things around. For the most part, like I said, they have Kevin Durant animations. They did some things pretty well. Spin jumper, hop jumper. I didn't really mess with these too much. These are pretty spot on. And the layup pack is definitely long athlete. It's basically the Kevin Durant pack. None of these I changed. These are pretty standard. They make sense. These I did not change as well. His animations are pretty clear cut. He moves in a pretty unique way to where you can clearly tell if it's him or not. Now for this, he does have dribble style quick, which you're not going to be able to put on him. So what you're going to have to do is go to vitals here and make him into a point guard, and then go into the signature, change it to quick, and then change it back to small forward, secondary position, power forward. 2K had to do this just to get him the so quick is actually what he has by 2K, and I went through them all. I think quick matches him, so it's just weird that we can't put quick or some other dribble styles on guys that aren't point guards. But of course you're going to get Kevin Durant Pro 2. I thought about moving this Pro behind the back to a different one, but he doesn't really do behind the back moves too often. Hezzy, I did change this one. I think that looks a lot more like Kevin Durant's than what they had. And normal 5. Alright, that's it. If you like the video, like the video. Don't be a bitch. Don't steal content. Don't have, a great time using my builds and not even show me some fucking love here. So, fuck off.